Hi everyone and welcome to the second episode of the coffee date, which is this series that I'm trying my best to keep up with. I have only posted one episode before where I have talked about the first part of my experience, like living alone as a foreigner in Hong Kong, and now I'm here to go on and continue the story. And after that, I would really like to post more of this series where I just talk about stuff like personal experiences and other things that I am thinking about. I'm always shy when I have to start filming for this series because indeed it's really awkward to just talk to a camera. As much as I love to talk, this one feels wrong. For this episode, I'm sitting on the floor. Now, before I start, let me tell you something really interesting that has happened. So, a few days ago, I went on a short holiday, and when I came back, I had a package waiting for me, and I had no idea what this package was about. I have threw away the box, however. It was a surprise gift that I received from YESSTYLE, but I had no idea about it. I was not expecting anything, and when I saw it, I was like, what? Yes. And let me also show to you what's here. Like you could already tell, here we have makeup, a lot of diverse products, and I would like for this video that while I am talking to you, I will also do my makeup using those products, and I will show to you, of course, what I can show. And yeah, so let's start because it will be a long video. I will first show you one by one. Here we have a cute blush. Let's also open it. You can tell it's a very cute package, and let's open it. Yes, it's a pink. The next product I have here is this makeup palette that let's open also. It has pretty shades of nude especially, and we can actually see here on the back the name of the shades, and it's called Fall in Love. By the way, I will link all the products in the bio, so in case you like something, you can order them as well. I'm really not a beauty videographer, so I don't really know much about how to present you those products, but I'll try my best. This one is a mascara. It's called Giverny, which is also a city, a village in France that I have visited a long time ago. It looks cute like this, and let's also check the applicator. Wow, the applicator is very tiny, like I've never used before. It's thin, so I'm really curious to try it later. And now the last product is called Mini by Flynn, and let's see what's inside. Wow, there are two products. We have the eyeshadow palette and as well as the lipstick. And let's see one by one. This one is also in nude shades. And now I have a hard time in choosing what to use for this video later on. And now let's check this cute lipstick. Wow, it's a nice shade that I used to like before, and now I would like to try it again. So let's see how it goes. All right, and now that I have introduced you to the products that we will be using today, let's start the story time. Okay, so I decided to go with this palette from Kibo, which is called Fall in Love. I love that it's called Fall in Love because we will also be talking about falling in love. And yes, I will use the shade Moonlight and this shade that is called Love Sparkle. I would honestly also choose them based on their names because they have such pretty names, like for example Soulmate, or which one I like, mm, Time to Kiss. Cute, right? Those products that I have showed to you are all from YESSTYLE, and you can use my discount code that I have. I think I have mentioned about it before, but anyways, you can find it here on the screen. And they are all from Korean brands, even though YESSTYLE is a Hong Kong brand. And by the way, I wanted to show you my makeup pouch that I got a long time ago from my friends, and it says Queen of Awesomeness, so you can know what is my friend's opinion on me. Anyways, I feel like I ranted a lot about makeup, but now it's time to talk about life, about real life. So after I have spent one holiday month in my home country, uh, because it was a holiday, I didn't have to work. I just spent time with my friends and my family. I started to be a bit, let's say, scared to go back to Hong Kong because I felt back into this comfort zone that I am not a fan of. And I really encourage everyone to go out of your comfort zone because I even saw a quote at some point that said, life begins the moment you go out of your comfort zone. Because this doesn't help you, doesn't make any good to you. You just get into a routine and it's not pushing you to do anything creative, maybe, or anything to basically creates challenges that you have to somehow solve, and you need to think about how to solve. And that's why many people don't like getting out of their comfort zone, and they just like to get into this routine. They're scared of risking. So yeah, that's what also kind of a bit happened to me, because I remembered my roots. Before living to Hong Kong, I was just a student, and I didn't face life as much, even though I lived alone for a while in a different city for university, which has helped shape me. But at the same time, I was still a young girl, only child, a bit spoiled at times. So I reconnected to my old self. I don't want to say I was hesitant to go back, but I didn't feel as excited as I felt at the first time, when it felt like diving into the unknown and making a wish come true, a long time dream come true. So at the airport, I felt a bit confused, but it all was good. Uh, However, I don't even want to remember that my flight was delayed for one night. I had to spend one night in the airport. So I just talked to my friend, and we kind of motivated each other. I remember that conversation also pushed her to take a very, how to say, a very life changing decision. And it only did good for both of us that moment. After that, when I arrived in Hong Kong, I felt like I got back home. A lot of nice people, helpful people, even from the airport. And I hopped on the taxi. I remember it was almost midnight. It was raining, like you know, the Hong Kong rain. It was pouring, cats and dogs. I hopped on the taxi and I went to my home, which this time was a different hotel where I lived by myself. It was a hotel. I don't want to tell you exactly the name of the hotel, but it was the hotel in Canton Road in Tsim Sha Tsui, which is a great location, like I mentioned last time, but it's a bit crowded, too crowded for my taste. Wow, this shade is so pigmented. Okay, you need to see this. Check. Okay, I realized I cannot do makeup and talk at the same time. The day I arrived, I spent at home in bed, more to be more exact, because I fell sick, obviously. And then the next day, I remember I was supposed to go to my friend's birthday party, but I had to quit because of that and I missed it. Anyways, the next day I had to go to work and I was a bit nervous because I had no idea how my colleagues would react to my coming back to this company after 1 month. I really didn't know if they would be excited or they would just not say anything. But it was a big surprise when when I got back on that day. Everyone was so welcoming and everyone was so happy and so excited. They hugged me. I was also excited to meet them again, some of them. This time, working was so much more difficult because um, it was already April, and this means summer is almost there. And this hotel was becoming more and more popular. And like I've told you, I was working on this operational part, which is like facing the customer all the time, the whole day. I was working for 10 hours. Um, yeah, most of the time I did not have to OT, but it also happened at some point. And I was facing a lot of guests, and all of them were very different, one from the other, because um, some of them were so nice and still very demanding, and others were rude and demanding as well, and others were just very clueless, had no idea what they're doing there, had no idea what we could offer, had no idea how to properly use the service. But this statistics that I'm talking to you about feels like a dissertation work and not a vlog. So we're getting too deep into the conversation. Let's get back to makeup. I've now gone with Love Sparkle. Who knows, maybe love will strike me again. And by the way, pigmentation is a 10 out of 10. Okay, let's also check on the eye. Like I've said, I had to work a lot, and in those maybe 6 months that I've spent from April to September, I literally had no weekend off because the weekends were the busiest, and we had to work a lot. So we had a lot of guests who were there for staycations, so Hong Kong guests, but there were also the mainland China guests because the borders have just been opened in, I think, in April. So yes, there were many mainlanders. You know what? I'm suddenly in the mood to go a bit darker. So, like, not darker, but to add an extra something. So, let me use the sunset time because it's sunset at the moment. Um, this one. I'll use it in the corner of my eye because I'm a very sociable person. I also enjoyed talking to the guests, to each guest, and try to connect on a very personal level. And I even made some friends. I had some people there that were also some long stay guests, and we were talking every day. They were assisting me with pieces of advice regarding my future, what to do afterwards, and these their advice was really helpful for me because I had some moments when I was kind of confused regarding my future. I didn't really know what to do. Mm, to be honest, this is one reason why I chose to extend my stay in Hong Kong, because I couldn't see myself back to my home country, but at the same time, I really wanted to take advantage of this opportunity that was given to me to be here at and live a 180 different experience. And I wanted to develop, I wanted to improve myself. So that's why I chose to stay more and work and learn. I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning of this channel, I used to tell you that I'm also doing masters while I'm working. Yes, I had to go on with the masters. I'll be honest, it was not easy to balance both working, a very tough working schedule with master, taking into consideration also the time difference, because Hong Kong is plus 6 hours from my country time zone. So let's say that some courses were, even though they were online, this was the biggest advantage, but let's say that some of them started at 1 a.m. When I was sleeping, because the next day I was working. So it was pretty difficult for me to get to attend the courses, which I'm not happy about, because it made things 10 times more difficult afterwards. But this was the only possibility. I really could not make it. We had a few exams, but we mostly had projects. So I did my best to upload them on time. But this task was also kind of difficult to manage, because sometimes the deadlines were too soon and I was in busy times at work, because honestly pretty much all the time at work it was very busy and very, very, very energy consuming. It is not easy to deal with guests. So if you're working in the service industry, you know what I'm talking about. It's really not easy to focus your attention and your energy on all the people, because you basically need to solve their problems. You need to be proactive to approach them, to be the one to approach them. You also have to assist them with everything that they would like to solve. So doing this for 10 hours a day, almost every day, is really, really exhausting. And what kept me going was, of course, the passion, because I really love to do it. I did it since I was a child. I really feel like I'm in an interview. No, really, but since I was a child, I had this passion of interacting with random people and being nice and however. But doing it a lot can be tough, and maybe you can even reach burnout at some point. For me, honestly, at some point I kind of lost motivation, so I, however, successfully restored it after a few days off. But still, I couldn't find my will and my motivation to wake up in early in the morning and go on with this routine and find the motivation to help each and every single person that comes their own thoughts that only God knows where they come from. Plus, the studying is was really not easy. But maybe you're wondering why I also chose to study. First of all, I just graduated university when I left to Hong Kong. And after graduation, yeah, you can think, okay, you can also do the masters. So I was encouraged by my parents to also do the masters because, like they said, if I wouldn't do this program as well, it would be pretty difficult for me to do it after I have started working. So I really didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I successfully managed to finish the masters. However, I won't lie, I had some receipts that I recently, like a few weeks ago, I had to send all my receipts, and now I'm so relieved that I finally finished everything and I can focus on work and on personal projects rather than on studies, because now I finally reached the ultimate level of education. However, no, there could be PhD, but I'm done. Thank you so much. I mean, for now, I'm done. I don't feel the need to do anything else regarding education. Now, I just want to focus on work and on different developing um, personal projects. I personally admire the innovative people. I love with my whole soul. I love people who bring something new to the world and to the life. And as an example, I have many examples in my mind. For example, Jim Morrison is the singer of The Doors, who I think he did too many things, especially for the times he lived in, which was not that long ago, but still. And also, I have on my mind a movie that I watched a few months ago about a Norwegian explorer named Roald Amundsen, who he wanted to be the first to discover something. So he was the first to discover not to discover, but to reach the South Pole. And you know what I liked? He first wanted to reach the North Pole, but even though he had the trip, this yes, the trip ready, he organized everything. Um, when he found out that someone else has already reached the North Pole, he aborted the mission and discovered and decided to go to the South Pole where nobody has ever been there. And by the way, talking about movies, last night I watched Oppenheimer. Finally, I watched it. They got it back to the cinemas, and I was very happy. I kind of manifested this because I didn't watch it during summer. I went to Barbie, obviously. And after that, I watched an interview with Killian Murphy, and I was so determined, and I really wanted to watch Oppenheimer, but I couldn't find it anywhere else. And suddenly, my mom told me that it's back to the cinemas, so we went last night, and I was so happy. And now I'm a Killian Murphy fangirl. He's handsome for sure. I need to watch all of his movies. Anyways, what I really wanted to say with this was that I myself have in mind to introduce some new projects and like not only in the online space as well, maybe I have some ideas, but as for in the real world, in the real life, I want to make a movement. I have it in my head. I cannot really tell you about it because it's about my career and I don't want to talk about it. And what I'm also motivated to do, so basically the motto that I live by every day is learn something new every day. I want to read more. I want to document myself. I want to know about everything. I'm a big fan of the art space. I want to know even more about history because it's not my I cannot say it's my strength. It's finally time to try this mascara. I'm very, very, very curious to see because I showed you it has a very tiny applicator. It's very thin. So I'm very curious. So as you can see, what I like most about is mascara is that the eyelashes do not get clumped and it's natural. So I like it. 10 out of 10. To be honest, when I saw the very thin applicator, I was excited because I was like jumping into the unknown. Yeah, so I got very surprised by this mascara and I will start using it. Thank you, YESSTYLE, for bringing out a product that I very much like. It's finally time for the blush, but I'm so dumb that I literally do not have an applicator. So like a brush. So while I'm thinking about how to use it, let's admire it more and let's talk about another chapter of this experience that I have lived in Hong Kong. Um, let's talk about dating life. So I this time because I told you I was so my time was very consumed by working. I had no energy, especially if I had only one day off. It was very hard for me to do something else other than just sleeping and shopping. But if I had, let's say, 2 days off or 3 days off, I was going out to explore. I didn't really focus on dating. So I told myself instead of wasting my time on failed dating experiences, because I have a lot of stories that now are funny, but they weren't really funny at the moment. So if you want to laugh, just let me know. So I said instead of doing this, I'd better just have some nice time by myself or with my friends. So that's why I didn't want to focus on dating. So I only went on a few dates with a few boys. Let me think. One, two, three were failed. Not failed, but they were not what I was looking for. So one evening when I was either bored or tired, um, I was scrolling on a dating app and I suddenly meet a boy who looks okay. But I didn't even want to meet him in real life because this boy, even though he is from Hong Kong, he currently lives in a different country and he was in Hong Kong for holidays. So he told me that he was going to leave in a few days, but he really wanted to meet me, but I didn't want to meet him because I thought, just like I said before, I would either waste my time going out with a boy that I will never see again and he's uninteresting and however and boring, or second, I would waste my time with a boy I will never see again and I will fall for him. Oh, and by the way, if you are that boy, please go out. No need for you to see this. You can scroll. Okay. On the evening that we were supposed to go out, which was also one day prior to his flight back to the country that he lives in, I texted him, sorry, I cannot make it. And then I added, just to be nice, I added, oh, but it would have been better if you were not leaving tomorrow. Because what could happen if I say this? Nothing, right? Like he cannot do anything. And I'm just nice. I look nice. But he said, okay, I will cancel my flight. So he canceled his flight to meet me. And in the next day, we met. And what I can say is that for a short time, we went on spending a lot of time together. It was short but very, very powerful for me. We, so yeah, we literally met and spent together all the time that we could. He basically moved into my home. We spent together every minute for a period of time. He also delayed his departure time. He also had to work so in that country. But we, however, spent a very quality time together. And when he finally left, it was very hurtful for me because I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not easy to let go of a person that I finally honestly fell for. I fell for him from the first time, but I am not sure why, but it just felt right. It was the first time in a long time that it felt right to be with him. And yeah, now, however, I'm healed because it's a long time that this happened. But I tell you, when he left, it was hurtful, and I was not really sure how to deal with it. Been together to a lot of places in Hong Kong, so it's only natural that after he left, it felt so strange whenever I was walking alone, pretty much everywhere. Sometimes I was crying for no reason. I mean, it's not for no reason, you can tell. And it was an interesting and very emotionally heavy experience that now it's a good memory, but it took a while for me to completely heal. And now I can talk with no feelings attached. Now I'm good. And but it was not like that because I don't know, this experience really felt different. And you know what I'm talking about, like when you meet someone and you finally feel a very, very different connection, very different from what you've experienced before, and it's suddenly for the first, or maybe for not the first, but for however, yeah, it feels right, and it feels like you are with who you are meant to be, maybe. This, and after that, some failed experiences that were not there. I didn't choose to have the following, the next dating experiences because I was hoping to find someone. I just wanted to forget about this boy who left so suddenly and just got removed from my life for no reason, if you will. However, I decided to apply this blush with a normal brush, and please do not cancel me. I'm not a makeup guru. I'm so excited to see the color of this. And you can tell it took so long for me to film this that now it's almost dark. And by the way, in my country it gets dark so early. Like now it's 5:30. It's 5:30. Why it's almost dark? Winter in Eastern Europe be like, oh, it looks so cute and I didn't even apply much. I hope you can see, but in real life it looks amazing. Now, after talking about this experience that I made it look so dramatic, I swear it was not that dramatic, but however, um, I would like to also tell you a very nice development story, but it helped me develop myself and cross off the bucket list something that I had, and it's very happy and it's about traveling. So, as you know, I love traveling. Um, I'm currently debating where to travel next because it will be my 30th country that I have ever visited. And so it must be important. It must be a very nice country. Therefore, this summer, I was so confused, let's say. I had no idea where to go for my summer holiday after I finished everything because I wanted to go to South Korea again, or I wanted to visit Taiwan. But the problem, I wanted to visit Taiwan after I watched a movie with a very handsome actor named Kwang Hang Soo. Sorry, I cannot pronounce his name properly. This movie was called Marry My Dead Body. You need to watch it. It was in Hong Kong cinemas for a while. I watched it in the Elements Mall. Very nice. And it was my time to buy the flight tickets. I really I really had nothing to choose from because both the tickets to Korea and both the tickets to Taiwan were suddenly, the prices were sky high. Like there were maybe 3,000 Hong Kong dollars, taking into account that when I first saw them, there were like 1,000 or something. So that's the moment when I decided to visit Hainan Island in China because, like you also know, it's the only place in China where you do not need a visa. I am not sure if I had the chance to tell you before, but I'm not the kind of person to go on relaxing holidays. I really get bored if I just go on a holiday and just lay down on the beach or on by the swimming pool and just do nothing the whole day. I hate this type of holidays, but for that period of time in my life, I really really needed this type of holiday. So after about 10 or 15 years where I never went on such a holiday type, I decided to organize a trip like that. So if you're curious about my traveling style, just watch my Korea vlog where I showed to you that I never stayed in one place. I took the train, I went to different cities by train to see as much as possible. Like, you know, there's an author named Peter Mayle who said, um, in one of his books, he said, we are the type of travelers that after a holiday, we need another holiday. We still have the lipstick to apply, but it will be the last product. I organized this trip by myself. I wanted to go alone. I wanted to be alone for a while. So I booked a hotel, and I will give you the prices for a reference. Yes, the prices in China, I thought they were very low. For example, this five-star hotel that I lived in is called Ramada. I stayed there for 5 nights, included breakfast. I spent about 300 euros for the whole trip, everything including plane tickets, including hotel, including all the other expenditures. It was about 800 euros for 1 week. That's amazing. And I did a lot of interesting things and relaxing as well. I only stayed at the pool one day because it still was very boring. I walked around, explored around the city. I was in Sanya, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned. And I ate coconut chicken. I ate Hainan chicken. I went to a nice cultural heritage park about the Li and Miao people's lifestyles. And I have also read a book written by Yukio Mishima, which is my favorite Japanese author. I did a lot of things. I slept, I had a good rest, and then I came back to Hong Kong for my last 2 days of Hong Kong. Now that we've reached this part, I can finally apply lipstick, and I will tell you that the last 2 days of Hong Kong were very uncertain because what, it smells so good. It smells like strawberry. Oh my god, it smells like fruit. I love it. I love it. Okay, I can't wait to apply it. So they were very uncertain because I left for good. This time I was leaving for good and I didn't know when I will come back or if I will come back. And I remember people asking me, everyone around me was asking me, when are you coming back? And I was saying, oh, in a few months, don't worry, I'll be back soon. But I was just lying to myself because I had no idea when or if I will come back. I honestly, I want to eat this. I don't want to apply on my lips. I want to eat it because it smells so good. Alright, so now that I have also applied this lipstick, I can say that this video is over. It was very chaotic. I know, a chaotic rant from one thing to another. Like, how did I get from masters to makeup to Cillian Murphy to trips to a dramatic love story to China? However, how? But anyways, that's the fun of, and that's also the risk of talking freely in front of your camera. I was so happy to tell you that this video is my first, let's say, gifted video, because I got this gift from YESSTYLE, where I also encourage you to shop in, because I do. And like I've told you, I have a discount code, and if you're interested to use it, please feel free to use it for a nice discount. Starting next episode, it will be getting even more random because my Hong Kong stories are now over. So I have other things that I have to talk about, and please let me know if you like the fact that I'm a very random person and I get from one thing to the other. And we just laugh together and just be chaotic crackheads together. And we're done. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe to the channel because it would be great. You know, this algorithm is not friendly to any content creator. And you can like, you can comment if you have something you want to comment. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything. Bye bye.